Hello!
And welcome
Back.
Or welcome to
Books and Grace!
A Book Lovers Podcast.
Shoot, yeah. I'm Danielle.
I'm freaking Sarah.
Yeah, guys, hi!
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Listen,
please. Don't stop listening yet. We got a lot to say.
It's so early.
Guys, we are, again, shifting gears. Once more. Whoopity-wop-bop. All over the place.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
We are diving into the world of
Shatter Me.
Shatter Me.
By Tahereh Mafi.
I'm really glad you said that, because I didn't even know. For a second, it escaped my brain entirely. Yeah, dystopian.
I saw the look in your eye, like,
help.
Panic.
I was going to reference the books behind me, but you beat me to it, so thanks for that.
You're welcome. I got you.
Yeah, we are in dystopian land now.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm really liking this crap so
I really
far.
love dystopian
Me too.
stories.
Take on the world.
Yeah.
Like a different version.
Yeah.
What it could be like, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying it.
Me too.
It is a part of a very lengthy series.
Yeah.
That we likely won't do on the podcast anytime soon. But I guess maybe as we read them, we might as well.
Yeah.
But okay.
Okay.
Before we start, okay?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Grab a drink.
And a snack.
And a blankie.
And do some chores.
Yeah, maybe.
Or don't.
Just
You could
relax. Just sit there. Play a game on your phone.
Hang out with us, your friends.
Know, match some shapes or something and decorate a home. That's what I do.
Color a freaking picture.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I want to color. We got to color our pictures.
Which ones?
Our Court of Thrones and Roses. Thrones! Back to the OG. Episode 1. ACOTAR color book.
Yeah, we should do that. They're so detailed.
I know. There's no chance. And I'm such a perfectionist that I'm like, there's no way that I will color it well enough.
I know. I'm like worried about ruining the book, so I kind of just want to keep it the way it is.
But I want to color them. I wish it would like the apps that are like paint by numbers where you can just like...
Don't have to worry about going outside the lines accidentally.
And it tells you where to go with the colors.
Yeah.
Because that's my bigger problem, I think.
And which colors to use.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
like, how am I supposed to pick?
Especially with something so detailed.
Yeah.
Anyway, holy crap. So color a picture, I guess.
Yeah, do that.
And listen in, okay? Because we're going to talk about it. And the reason I said that first is because the thing I'm going to say is about the book, but it's just
good.
not the story yet.
Okay.
The writing is kind of nuts.
It is. I like it.
Me too.
It's interesting. And then there's a, note in the, an author's note in the beginning that tells you, this isn't a mistake the way it's written.
Yeah.
It's meant to be that way because the writing, evolves with the main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, gets better as she's growing and changing
and becoming more mentally well.
Yeah
There's sentences or word clusters that are crossed out so strike through. There's a lot of numbers,
repetitive
language,
repetition.
A lot of repetitive repetition.
And team redundancy team.
Yes. And a lot of use of numbers, numerals, rather than spelling it out or whatever, I'm assuming is what she meant by that. But it's very interesting, and the start of the book is heavily laden with that because she's in a very vulnerable position and not okay. But I really enjoy the writing.
Yeah, me too.
All of that to say, it's very interesting, and it hooked me immediately.
Same.
So I'm really enjoying it so far, guys.
Me
okay?
Too. And it's a really quick...
It's fast.
Very easy to read.
Very quick.
But, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we're talking about chapters 1 through 25. So we read half the book, and it didn't feel like it took me any time at all.
I felt like I could have read the entire book this week.
Yeah, we talked about that before this. We were like, it was really good. We could have kept going, but that's okay. First half. Mm-hmm. So let's dive into it.
Yeah.
It starts out with the main character. Her name's Violet.
Juliette.
Holy crap. You're right. I knew it was an et. Juliette is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's in a cell.
Yeah.
Locked up alone.
All by herself.
All by herself. Doesn't have any human contact outside of, like, them shoving a meal through the door every so often.
Yeah, and I wouldn't exactly call that human contact.
I guess.
They're not like, hey,
girl, how you doing?
How's it going in there? You okay?
Yeah, she's locked up alone in this weird, dark asylum, sort of losing her mind. Yeah. And the whole book is written in her point of view, where it's like a journal of hers.
Yeah.
Like, she constantly keeps notes, is just constantly writing her thoughts.
Yeah.
Hasn't spoken in like 264 days, has been in this cell for that long.
I can't imagine not speaking a word for that long.
I know.
And I'm not even like a big talker.
I know. I know, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And to just not like see any other people, and yeah. But she has got news that she's going to get a cellmate. And she's like stressed about this.
Yeah, I would be too.
And this is in a setting where there's the Reestablishment that like took over to make conditions better on an Earth,
better,
right? Quote unquote.
Yeah.
On an Earth that's like depleting, like the ozone is fried.
All the animals are dying.
Yeah. Nobody's been flying. Nobody. The birds aren't flying anymore.
Ow.
You all right?
Michael.
It's a dystopian world.
Yeah.
The clouds are always like gray.
Yeah, the clouds are the wrong color.
It like is weird weather, very volatile, can snow in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
Be 90
it's like
degrees
hard to breathe outside.
Yeah. It's dystopian for sure.
For sure.
But
and I feel like a little too real.
Yeah.
Like we're heading that way.
Yeah.
For
we
sure.
really need to help our planet somehow, guys. Come on.
Drive electric, bitches.
Although the batteries are really bad for
the
they
are. But it's better than fucking gasoline.
Yeah, in theory. Who knows? We're just messing everything up.
Yeah.
Humans are parasites.
For sure.
Any freaking who. Juliette. Not Violet. Juliette.
Yeah.
Knows. She's getting cellmate.
Yep.
And she, like, is practicing speaking. Because she hasn't spoken in so long.
She needs to remember how.
Yeah.
Which is really sad.
I know. And she's all sorts of nervous and concerned about who it could be. And is afraid to be hurt. And a lot of her, like, monologue is talking about how she cannot be touched.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing. Nobody can touch her.
She can't touch anybody.
She can't touch anybody.
No one can touch her.
Nobody.
No skin-to-skin contact.
Don't be touching Juliette. Man, can you imagine?
No.
We learn about it. I guess we could just tell you.
Yeah.
The reason she's in the cell in the first place.
Yeah, she killed a boy by touching him.
She killed a little boy. Apparently, Juliette, from a very young age, like, her parents realized that they couldn't touch her because it causes agony.
Yeah,
like, anytime someone touches her.
Extreme physical pain.
Yeah. Causes them agony, if not death.
Yeah.
And she saw a mom, like, neglecting her kid out in public.
Yeah, she's, like, in line at the grocery store or something.
Yeah. And the kid fell
over. And the kid's, like, screaming, wants attention from his mom, and falls over.
The mom, like, pushes him or something.
And
he falls over. And Juliette's like, oh,
she
poor
just wants
kid.
to help him.
And goes to help him up. And she didn't understand what was going on at all.
Yeah.
As far as her ability or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a weird evolutionary problem, considering the Earth is dying.
Yeah.
But she tries to help him up, and he starts screaming in agony. She doesn't really understand that it's her causing
and I feel
it.
like she just keeps holding on, like, it's okay, dude.
Well,
and she, like, feels power when she touches people. Like, it makes her feel stronger and...
Yeah. Makes her feel good.
Yeah.
It's like sucking their life force out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what she did to this little boy.
Yeah.
And
but she didn't do it on purpose.
No.
I feel bad for her.
I know. She didn't do it at all on purpose. She didn't even know that was a possibility.
No.
And she was then taken into custody by the Reestablishment or whatever.
Yeah.
And put in this insane asylum.
Yeah.
And people, say that it's a disease or whatever, but they don't have any explanation for what the heck that's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder...
Nobody can touch her.
I wonder, and we haven't learned this yet, but I wonder if there's other people like her.
Me too.
Have the same abilities.
Yeah. Or variances.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it is, like, evolutionary branching off.
Yeah.
The humans are taking weird forms because of the depletion of the Earth.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Mayhaps.
I don't know, dude. But she's getting a cellmate.
Yep.
And he shows up.
He shows up, and she's kind of shocked.
Yeah, she's like a dude. And scared. She's nervous that he's going to hurt her and touch her.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, fair. You don't know what you're getting locked up with in an insane asylum?
Yeah.
He could be insane.
I'm surprised they even, like, give people roommates. I mean, we learned that,
this is a whole ruse.
A ruse, but...
yeah, I'm sure there's not roommates in other scenarios.
Yes, you're right.
That's probably not for the better. Yeah, and as soon as he gets in there, he's trying to, like, show his alpha self, and he, like, takes her bed and puts it together with his, and...
takes her blankets and her pillows.
Passes out on both beds.
Yeah.
And she's, like, cowering in a corner, because she's so afraid of him. And, like, when he wakes up, he starts asking her a bunch of questions. He, like, wants to know her name.
Yeah.
Wants to know why she's in there.
What she did to be
in there. And she can barely talk to him because she's so nervous.
Yeah.
And she keeps thinking about she keeps, like, trying to manifest that a bird's going to fly by the window and that it has golden feathers on its head like a crown.
Yeah.
And she's just looking out the window trying to, like, keep to herself.
Just waiting.
Just waiting it out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden... Oh, what?
Did she not know who he was from the very beginning?
I think she did deep down inside.
Okay.
But she wasn't trying to acknowledge that.
Got it.
I feel like she recognized his eyes and, like, felt something familiar about him.
Yeah, because I feel like before she ever learned that it was all a ruse and they came and took them.
Yeah.
There was, like, a piece of inner monologue where she said something like, he doesn't even remember who I am.
Yeah. I think she realizes it after he tells her his name.
Okay.
And then she, like, is like, oh, yeah, wait a minute. I know this person.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but as he's settling in, she will barely answer any of his questions. Like, she'll barely talk to him at all.
Yeah.
And then mealtime comes around, and she's like, wait 3 minutes to grab the tray, and he reaches in first and burns the sand. And, like, she's starting to help him survive in this freaking place. Mm-hmm. And then at another point, the door just opens.
For them to go, like, take a shower.
Yeah, but they have to, like, run down a dark hallway.
Yeah, there's no light.
Like, blindly navigate to the shower bathroom area.
Yeah. She makes him hold her shirt.
Yeah, because he can't touch her.
And he can't see anything.
Yeah, and he doesn't know where the hell he's going.
Yeah.
And they get to the shower and shower.
Like, find soap in the freaking drain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all achy.
It's terrible.
And they only have 3 minutes to shower.
I know. You gotta make it quick.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do I not get my clothes wet? And she's like, you just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to tell you, bud. Yeah. I got you this far, okay? Yeah. Take care of the rest. But what a terrible set of circumstances, this asylum.
They're treating these people like they're not humans.
Yeah. They never even see, like, guards or anything. Yeah. Like, it's, you know, a weird, sanctioned off, dark area. Yeah. She said that, like, occasionally in the showers there's 1 or 2 other people, but they're not allowed to see each other. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why it's so damn dark. It's because they can't see. It's wild.
I wonder if the other people that are locked up in the same sector of the, like, asylum as her are people who also have powers.
Oh, maybe.
I wonder. And that's for some reason why they can't see each other.
Maybe.
Because they'd be like, I see you have the same affliction I do. I see
that you can't be touched. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe. We didn't learn much about the rest of the, like, cells or prisoners or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, she starts helping him out a little bit, like, get his footing. And he eventually, like, apologizes for having been such an asshole.
Yeah.
And she tells him her name, and he tells her...
Which is Juliette, not Violet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And he tells her that his name is Adam.
Uh-huh.
And when she learns his name, she's like, I know you.
I know you. But she doesn't say that out loud.
No. She's writing it.
Yeah.
Thinking and writing at the same time. Constantly writing. And she's like, I know you. And doesn't think that he remembers her at all.
Yeah.
And there is, like, a night in the cell where she's fallen asleep. He gives her his blanket. He gives her all his stuff and is, like, trying to take care of her. Because she's freezing.
Yeah.
It's winter.
It's winter.
And
or maybe it's summer. Who knows? With the weather out there.
It could have snowed in the summer. And she's, like, screaming in her sleep.
Yeah.
And he, like, tries to wake her up and comfort her.
Mm-hmm.
And when she does wake up, he's like, the screaming just doesn't stop in here. Not only Juliette, but, like, there's
other
just
people
screaming
too.
Through the walls.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how, like, I don't know what kind of agony they're going through, but it seems like she sort of implies that, like, people are being tortured or something in other rooms.
It definitely seems that way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not explicitly mentioned
No.
But I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or are there other people with her ability touching people for torture purposes?
Or different sorts of abilities.
Maybe it's different abilities, because I feel like she's a prized possession later. You know what I mean? Like, she's something special.
For sure.
Yeah. But anyway, they sort of start making a bond.
Yeah.
And
they're growing closer. They're kind of becoming chummy.
Chummy. And he goes so far as to, like, snuggle her a couple times, like, hold him against himself.
Yeah.
And with clothes and everything, so they're not touching skin to skin.
Yeah. Even though he supposedly doesn't know.
Yeah, supposedly.
Or maybe she's told him. Maybe at this point.
She just says, like, don't touch me. You
me.
can't touch me.
Yeah.
I think at one point he is, like, holding her on the bed, and she, like, for a second leans into it and is like, oh my God, like, it feels so amazing to be touched at all. Like, she hasn't been touched in however long, since she was a baby.
Probably her whole life. Yeah.
And then she, like, pulls back, jerks away, and it's like, no, you can't touch me. Like, you can't touch me. I can't touch you. Like, it can't be a thing. I know.
I feel bad for her.
Me too. Poor freaking Juliette.
I know.
God. That's really lonely existence.
Yeah.
If nobody can touch you. Can't even, like, hug.
I know.
A handshake.
Hugs are my favorite.
I love a hug.
God.
Jeez. But then...
They come.
Some
random people show up and, like, hustle him out of the room.
Yeah. Soldiers of some sort.
Yeah.
Whoever's in control of this place.
Yeah.
Come in and, like, have guns.
Yeah.
Pointed on them.
Yeah. Oh, and they, like, beat the shit out of Adam.
Yeah. And they're like, get the heck out of here, bros.
Yeah.
Broskies.
And they, like, I feel like they know that they've kind of... She's, like, bonded to him a little bit because they, like, use him to threaten her. Like, if you don't move, he's gonna get beat up.
Yeah. Or they, like, have a gun trained at his head or something. Like, they are threatening to kill him, maybe.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think is part of all the ruse, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, his whole... Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. But, yeah, they come in, and they're like, let's freaking go.
Yeah.
And they start pulling Juliette along into a bunch of different places she's never seen before. Like, out through hallways. She's not, like, adjusted to the light. Like, the light is aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's, like, just overhead lights.
Yeah.
Like... They're cave people
for sure.
At this point, minus the tiny window in their freaking cell.
Yeah. I can't imagine for however long she's been in there.
264 days.
Almost a whole year not having any light.
I know.
Aside from a tiny little window. Like,
yeah.
That's terrible, dude.
I know. It's horrible conditions. Yeah, but she's drug out.
Yeah.
And meets a guy named Warner.
Yeah.
And is surrounded by a whole bunch of soldiers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he is like, hi, I'm Warner.
No. Hey, girl, my name's Warner.
Good to meet you, honey.
I've been watching you for a while and kind of like you.
I'm like kind of obsessed with you. It's not unhealthy, I swear. But he essentially says that she's going to be working for him.
Yeah.
Like he has a purpose for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she is very, very resistant to this idea. Because she like almost immediately knows what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I think at one point he says something like, you're a hard nut to crack. Like we had, I don't remember Adam's last name. But his last name, Adam, planted there basically.
Yeah.
And she like ends up seeing Adam in a uniform and is like
with
shook
gun.
and betrayed and like, you know.
It was all a friggin' ruse.
It was a ruse.
He was spying on her.
He was planted.
Yeah.
To try to get some answers out of her.
Mm-hmm.
And Warner says it was because they wanted to see if she was sane.
Yeah.
Like put him in there to see if she's lost her damn mind or not.
Yeah.
And the whole time Adam was in there, he's like, you're not insane. I'm not insane. Like, we're not insane. We shouldn't be in here.
Yeah.
We're not insane.
Yeah.
Ugh! God damn it, Adam.
I know.
And
when that came out, dude, I was like,
rude!
I liked you, dude.
How dare you? I know. And it turns out that Adam's, like, assigned to her. Like, it's his job to keep eyes on her at all times.
She's, like, his,
assignment.
Sure.
I don't know where you were going.
I don't either. I have foggy brain.
Yeah, but Adam is her soldier. She's assigned to him.
Yep.
And
she is his assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And after she meets Warner, she's like pissed, obviously. And does not want anything to do with him, does not want to be used, because his whole goal is to use her to torture prisoners.
To torture prisoners of friggin' war.
Yeah, or torture anybody that he needs her to torture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be a fellow soldier.
People who are
bad.
Part of the resistance or whatever.
Yeah.
For the
getting answers.
Establishment.
Reestablishment.
Thank you.
Yeah, but after their initial introduction, Adam takes her back to this really fancy room that is way bigger than anything she's had, or fancier than anything she's
got
had.
An actual bed, not
and
just
a bathroom,
a mattress
with springs poking through.
Springy mattress.
And there's an attached bathroom.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have heard about this, but even prior to being locked up, conditions were not at all that good. They were living in slums, barely had anything, electricity, running water, etc.
Yeah, but of course the people who are trying to make the world better have all the luxuries.
Yeah,
and
they're living lavishly.
Yeah, it's very Hunger Games-esque.
For sure. In that
I compare literally everything to Hunger Games, but
we've read a lot of Hunger Game-esque books recently.
We have, and I'm reading another one. But anyways,
she gets into this room, and he's he tells her, take a shower, and mentions that there's cameras in the room, but not in the bathroom. I think he makes it a point to do so.
Yeah.
And he brings her into the bathroom and acts as if he's about to say something. He's sort of building up to something. And she sort of cuts him off or something. Exasperated is the word I wanted.
Okay.
And kicks him out so she can shower. He told her there's a whole full armoire of clothing for her.
Yeah.
So she gets clean and is reveling in the idea of being perfectly clean for the first time in however fucking long.
Yeah.
When she had 3 minutes to shower with floor soap.
There's actually soap and actual shampoo in her shower. Oh my god.
Luxury.
Wow.
But when she comes out, she doesn't put any of the damn clothes on.
No, she looks at him for a minute and she's like, these are extravagant. I just want my own clothes.
Yeah.
She puts her own ratty shit back on.
Yeah. And before Adam had walked out, he had touched a specific, purple gown. Mm-hmm. And was like, this would look good on you. And I feel at that moment, he did something.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's the only reason I want to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she's escorted to this dinner with good old Warner.
And a bunch of people.
There's
so many people.
Yeah. There's
I guess all the shoulders?
Oh, the shoulders.
Oh, the shoulders.
There's a whole table of people.
I feel like there was more than one table, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There's 8 tables.
She was this room alone, this big dining space could fit thousands of hungry orphans.
Yeah.
And it's just for these fancy hoity-toity folk.
Yep.
Using all the electricity and water and etc.
Mm-hmm. And they have a feast.
Yeah.
All of this food that could feed all of the starving people everywhere.
And Warner's at the head of the table, and 2 spots are open next to him, so that's where Adam and Juliette go.
Yeah. And Juliette's having a hard time even looking at Adam.
Yeah.
She's not his biggest fan right now.
No.
I don't blame her.
No, that's big betrayal. Mm-hmm. What the dang heck? You fooled me, bro. And Warner's like, well, you gotta eat something, I bet you're starving. And she's like, I'm not, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
And he, gets aggressive and fed up and just shoots blindly at the table at a hunk of meat.
Yeah.
He certainly could have shot somebody.
For sure. In this room full of people.
He just fires a gun.
Yeah.
To scare her into eating.
Yeah. Well, and he basically says to her, I think he actually says out loud, that wasn't a request.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Right. Well, and Adam says, gives her a plate of food. And is you should eat this. And he's like, oh, so you only listen to him?
Yeah.
Warner sucks.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No. But she eats some.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. They have that dinner.
Yeah.
I feel there's some sort of ending to it. They end early for some reason.
Yeah, I feel is this when Warner takes her to his room?
I I think he, like, walks her out of the dinner and is escorting her back to her room. And he's like, touch me. He wants her to touch him.
Yeah.
He's like, show me what you can do.
Yeah.
Touch me.
He wants to feel it for himself.
Yeah, and she's like,
Psycho.
no, dude, I'm not going to fucking do that. Touch what?
No. I was going to make a joke.
About a psycho?
No, about friggin' masochism. But I was going to say the friggin'
misogynist. For any of the people who listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you know the inside joke.
Yeah.
You better.
Come on. But he keeps egging her on to touch him, and she refuses to. Yeah. And so he, like, summons a soldier, Jenkins.
Uh-huh.
And he tells him, like, you are gonna grab her. Catch her.
Yeah.
And don't let go, no matter what.
No matter what, until I tell you
back
to.
to her room.
Yeah.
And she starts running.
She runs.
And but he's surrounded by soldiers.
Yeah. She gets surrounded and he catches her.
And he touches her.
And he does. And he won't let her go.
No, because he was ordered not to. Mm-hmm. And he's just writhing in pain. She talks about this, like, weird euphoric feeling about, again, like, feeling like she's sucking out their power or whatever it is. And she, like, catches a glimpse of Adam kind of horrified in the corner. Mm-hmm. And Warner's just in the back like, my little torture princess.
Yeah.
And finally...
She works!
Yeah. And finally she pulls away. She, like, kicks him off of her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't at first.
Something, like, about how she has to be the one to break the contact because they're in so much pain that they physically can't let go.
Yeah. They're just writhing.
Yeah.
But it's hard for her to pull away.
It's hard for her because she feels that pull.
Euphoric and whatever. She's lost in it. But she finally kicks him in the chest, gets him off of her, and is sobbing, like, completely emotionally distraught, thinking she has killed him.
Yeah.
Again, another death by touch.
Yeah.
And Warner's like, excellent.
My evil plan is working.
Yeah, and she passes out, I'm pretty sure. And Warner takes her to his room. Mm-hmm. And, like, makes her eat or tries to make her eat and, like, sets her up there and is acting sort of, like, caring towards her.
Yeah.
But in the way that it's like, my precious.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I
he's
mean?
weirdly, creepily, grossly possessive over her.
Yeah. Yeah, like she's his little object.
Yeah. She's a little plaything for him.
Yeah. Ugh.
It's icky.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
But he makes her sleep in his room.
Yeah.
He gives her food.
And he leaves. He doesn't stay there with her.
No.
Which is less
better.
Creepy, I guess.
Yeah. But he's like, you know, you're going to have to get used to this. Yeah. And, like, I'll break you, basically, is what he keeps telling her.
Yeah.
Like, you're more stubborn than I thought you'd be. Mm-hmm. And she's like, fuck you, and all you stand for.
Bitch.
And he's like, we're one and the same. Like, you just haven't realized it yet. Like, yeah. And he talks about and, like, gloats about murdering people. And she's like, well, if you can do it, then why do I have to help you?
Why do I have to help you?
And he's like, well, you have a different skill. Like, a different finesse.
Well, and he says, like... With you, like, I wouldn't have to use devices or whatever to torture people, and you'll last way longer than any of the, like, electronics that we could get to torture people. Because you'll never run out of battery for the next at least 30 years.
Yeah, you have, like, decades
dude,
in you.
You're icky.
Yeah, it's nasty. Like, he convinced his dad, who I think is some sort of leader in the Reestablishment, that it was a good idea to take her on.
There are certain, like, sectors that... certain families have been ordered, or not ordered, but, like, picked to rule over certain sectors.
Yeah.
And I think his dad is the ruler of their sector, but he's, like, put his son in charge.
Yeah. Ugh. And he's 19.
Yeah.
And just a little shit. He's giving
power
me, like,
hungry.
Malfoy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. A weird, tortury Malfoy.
Yeah, he's icky. Not a fan. Malfoy or, like, the little evil kid in Game of Thrones. But you don't know that reference.
I don't. Sorry.
That's okay. Anyway, she sleeps there, and I think he comes and gets her in the morning and sends her back to her room.
Yeah, and he's, like, pissed when he comes to get her in the morning. He's like, you didn't eat any of the food I got you last night.
Yeah, she's,
and he
like,
makes
almost
her
passes out because she hasn't eaten in however many days.
Yeah.
But he's like, go back to your room and I'm going to come get you in exactly an hour or something. And so she goes back to her room and Adam's like watching her this whole time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's now or later. I don't remember. Maybe it's later. But she gets showered and changed and stuff and puts on like a fancy gown.
Yeah, he tells her specifically to put on that purple dress that he'd touched before.
Yeah, and when she pulls it out, she like feels under it and finds her notebook. He like brought it for her. He saved it for her.
Yeah.
And then in a pocket of the purple dress finds a note that says like it's not what it seems or something.
And
from
it's
Adam.
From Adam.
He like wrote it in the bathroom or something when he was about to tell her something.
Yeah.
And slipped her a little note. And she's like, maybe there's like more to the story. Maybe there's a glimmer of hope here that Adam is not actually a piece of shit because I knew him as a kid and like, you know. And I think it goes back to then introduce their story of having grown up with each other.
Yeah.
Like how she was bounced around from school to school. People kept kicking her out of schools because she couldn't be touched and people were afraid of her.
Well, and kids were like picking on her all the time. And
bullying
being little
the shit
jerks.
out of her. And she ended up in a school with Adam.
Who is... He didn't have a great home life. Like, his mom was dead. Or, we don't know, actually, what is wrong with his mom. Or where she is. But his dad's a drunk. And like, abuses him. Most of the time he walks to school. But one time she saw his dad drop him off. And he was drunk and, like, kicked him in the ribs.
Like,
and
repeatedly.
Beat the shit out of him.
And he kept silent until after everyone was gone. And then just started sobbing.
And she saw it all from, like, behind a tree.
Know.
She's, like, spying on him.
And she, like, threw up in a bush watching it. And he sat a couple of seats in front of her in class. And she kept noticing him and wanted to talk to him. And he noticed her, too, and started protecting her.
Yeah, like, he was, like, the only kid that would stand up for her when people were picking on her.
Yeah, he would, like, sit far enough away to, like, give her privacy at lunch, but would, like, deter people if they tried to mess with her.
Yeah, and he was the only one who ever looked at her with, like, kindness in his eyes instead of judgment.
So she, like, loved him as a kid and wanted to talk to him, but didn't talk to anybody, and, like, that was scary, and,
Yeah,
sad. Sweet and sad.
Sad.
But she gets her dress on.
She does.
And she has to accompany Warner out. They're going to address Sector 45, his soldiers.
Yeah.
And they go to this, like, overhang. I imagine it's like a king and queen situation where it's like, my disciples? My pupils. My people. Hello. Warner comes out and he's like, I'd like to introduce you to my little pet,
Juliette.
And
my
they're
pet
all like,
Juliette.
They're all terrified of her because of what happened with fucking Jenkins.
Yeah.
Jenkins is alive. He's okay.
Yeah, Jenkins is there.
He's there.
And this is the first time I think that she sees him again. And she's like,
yeah.
Woo, he's alive. I didn't kill him. Goodness gracious.
Goodness gracious. I'm sure that's exactly what she thought.
Yeah.
But then he, like, calls forward one of the dudes and is like, we have a charge for so-and-so. One of the soldiers.
Yeah.
This guy has a charge for this guy.
Yeah.
And so the one that's charged has to, like, step forward, and apparently he was helping some of the people, I don't know, bringing supplies to,
mingling with
the people in the slums.
In the,
whatever.
Dumb shit.
Yeah. I don't know, giving them food, water, perhaps, helping people out.
Yeah. How dare he?
And how dare he? And so, what does Warner do?
He shoots him, doesn't he?
Right in the head.
Right in the head.
Yeah.
I'm like, does he?
Takes him out. Remember. And the soldiers, of course, don't react at all, but Juliette's like, holy shit.
Yeah. He just shot that dude in the friggin' forehead without even thinking twice about it. No hesitation at all.
Yeah. Just downs him.
That's terrible, dude.
I know.
I can't imagine having to, like, be around someone like that and pretend like everything's okay.
Yeah. I don't even. That's terrible.
Yeah.
He's just
he's a bad guy.
Freaking,
mean man.
Psycho.
Yeah.
He's what is the word I'm trying to look for? Sociopath.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danielle Brain.
You're welcome.
I was like, murderer. Sorry. I went through a line of words in my head. Yeah, he's a sociopath, for sure. But after that whole event, Juliette's like, why did you do that? And, like, backs him up against the wall.
Yeah.
Is like,
pissed.
preparing to hurt him. And he's like, do it.
Please.
Touch me, baby.
Touch me.
And she doesn't. She, like, backs up.
She's like, oh, God, what was I doing? What was I thinking?
Heck? But I think she ends up going back to her room after that, and Adam comes into her room.
Yeah.
Because he's assigned her.
Yeah.
As we talked about, her being
his assignment.
She is his
subject.
Right. And
I think that was the word I was looking for earlier, which is really sad, but I couldn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Fine. And he, like, brings her into the bathroom and turns on the shower.
Yeah, so they can do a chitty chat.
Maybe this is, they wake up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But at some point, they end up in the bathroom. Yeah. And he's, like, shirtless. She, like, finds him in there. And sees the bird with the golden feathers, like a crown on its head.
Tattooed on him.
And she's like, that's where
is it on his chest?
From. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this memory or ideal that she's been holding on to is attached to Adam.
It's him.
It's him. Yeah. And she's, like, ogling a little bit.
I question, though, because she was thinking about that in the cell before he ever showed up. And the last time she remembers seeing him, they were literally children.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have a tattoo of a bird on him when he was a child.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
I'm like, maybe it's just like a weird coincidence that
is a very weird coincidence.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, maybe.
Where else would it have come from?
Or maybe she didn't start saying that until he was her cellmate.
It was before.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know that he slept without his shirt off, so maybe she, like, caught a glimpse
without
and then made up
off.
with his shirt. Sarah! You know what I meant. God. Anyway, he takes her in the shower.
Yeah.
And he's like,
saucy.
Ooh. And he's like, I can touch you. He tells her
yeah.
that he can touch her.
Yeah, because one night she was having a freaking nightmare, and he touched her freaking face while she was sleeping.
And her arm.
And he was perfectly fine.
And he didn't get hurt. And he's like, oh, shoot, we missed some things.
Well, that's fine. We'll finish this train of thought.
Well,
and then, unless it's important and we need to backtrack.
It kind of is.
Okay.
Because after the shooting and everything, she starts having regular, like, occurrences with Warner. He has her with him all the time.
All the time.
Like, for lunch, breakfast, you name it. He's like giving her tours of the place. He's
bringing her with him everywhere he goes.
He's talking about, making something big together and how she's going to be his, star, and she's going to do all the dirty work. Yeah. Whatever.
He's like literally trying to make a little pet out of her, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like weird little sex slave.
Yeah. Something like a arm candy that can torture people.
Yeah.
But at one point, she asks him to turn off the cameras in her room. She's can you disable my cameras to give me, like, one room that's mine, like, private? And he's like, well, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
And he asks that in exchange for that, she
touches him.
Yeah. And she, like, is like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then he starts digging because he gets frustrated with her and tells her that Adam volunteered for the position. Because she was under the presumption that Adam did not remember her.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they brought her up, he, like, had done a bunch of research about her. And Adam was like, I went to school with her.
Let me take it.
Yeah. I'd love to see what came of her.
Yeah.
Like, acting like it was like he's a bully too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and he said something like, she was always so weird and...
Yeah. And so Warner's throwing this at her.
Yeah.
Like, Adam knew, and he wanted to, make a fool of you, essentially.
Yeah. I feel like he can see a little bit that they're, like, becoming closer.
Yeah, perhaps.
And he's jealous, and so he's, like, trying to sabotage their relationship a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she gets pissed at this revelation, and she almost touches him.
She comes real close.
She almost grabs him and tortures him.
Yeah. She's like, I'm pretty sure I could just, like, punch through his chest right now.
Yeah, or, like, at least kill him with a touch, whatever. Yeah. And she gets close to, but then resists, because that's what he wants.
Yeah.
She, like, ends up
and she doesn't want to be that person.
No. And also to give this sociopath freaking guy the thing that he wants most for some reason. Like, I want to experience it myself, see what he can do. Ugh. But she resists.
Misogyny.
Yeah. And they sort of have an argument. Like, they're heated, and he's like, whatever, like, go back to your room. And Adam is outside the door and probably heard this whole conversation. Mm-hmm. And that's when he takes her back to the room.
Yeah.
And I think just sleeps on her floor.
Doesn't Warner tell him to disable the cameras when they get back to the room. Yeah.
And so he does.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, so maybe the shower was first. Because...
Oh, yeah, because now
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. But the shower, he's like, I can touch you, and I want to get you out of here.
Yeah.
And we're going to
get us out of here. We're going to get out.
And they're, like, snuggling in the shower, and she's like, holy crap, I've never had this much, like, skin-to-skin contact.
Yeah.
Then the Warner argument happens.
Yep.
Then the cameras are disabled, and they start making out.
They do. They get real hot and heavy.
Yeah, he's like, I've wanted to kiss you forever.
Yeah.
And he starts telling her, like, I noticed all these tiny, like, a million little things that you would do. Like, you'd give your lunch to somebody even though you had nothing. Mm-hmm. Or, like, you would help somebody out who bullied you, and then after that week was up, they'd go back to bullying you. Like, you were always so selfless, and I saw a million things in you when we were in school. And I wanted to kiss you forever.
And then they do it.
And then they kiss.
Smoochies.
Yeah. And he tells her that there's some sort of, like, rebellion rising.
Yeah.
And that they're going to send out all the troops soon.
Oh, yeah. And they'll use that as their opportunity to skedaddle.
Yeah. Tells her that, like, in about 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Is my guess. Like, it's not going to be long.
Yeah.
And... so she sort of, like, stows that away, and it gives her hope to continue on for the rest of the nonsense that's happening over the next few weeks.
Yeah. While they're making out, too, though, things are, like, escalating, and they're getting hot and heavy, and then all of a sudden a freaking alarm goes off, and people come over the intercom like, oh, the cameras are disconnected?
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, Warner told me to, bro. It's fine. But... after this interaction where he tells her, you know, about 3 weeks, it sort of skips ahead pretty fast. And she's 2 weeks later, has been doing these cyclical things with Warner, you know, having lunch with him. She's almost always with him. Barely gets to see Adam, let alone talk to him. Like, really the only time that she sees him is at night when he's sleeping on her floor. And she's often, like, snuggled up with him.
Well, yeah, but except that now oftentimes Warner has him, like, sleeping outside of the door.
Yeah. Because
her cameras are off.
And he doesn't want her to escape.
And he doesn't want her to escape. Yeah. And so, you know, having someone outside of the door rather than inside will really stop her from getting out.
Yes. I'm like, sleeping on her floor, would you not notice her getting out of bed?
Right.
And, like, okay. Maybe it's just Warner, like, suspicious.
He knows. Yeah. I feel like he's
got to have some sort of inkling.
He's privy to the fact that they're getting closer.
Yeah. But he also wants her to.
Oh, for sure.
It's icky and weird.
Yeah.
But then, after this weird routine she's got down with Warner, one day, he's, like, taking her to somewhere new.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta go do something different, you know? And takes her to sort of, like, a cell.
Yeah.
That has, I don't know, yellowing walls and whatever. And puts her in there alone. And there's a big, like, mirror on the wall. And she's like, I imagine they're watching me through this.
Yeah. Before he takes her there, though, he makes her change her clothes.
Oh, yeah!
Into, like, a skimpy little outfit.
Yeah.
That's, like, a
tank
really
and shorts.
Strappy tank top and...
little boaty shorts.
Tiny itty-bitty shorts.
Yeah, and she's like, well, this is embarrassing. Like, why? And so they put her in this room in these skimpy little clothes. And after they've left, spikes start coming in and out of the wall and the floor. And she's like, oh, this is a torture room.
Yeah.
Great.
Super
swell. And then, he comes in over, like, an intercom or something and is like, you know, you never repaid me for the cameras, like, having turned them off. So I'm sending in my replacement.
Yeah. And it's a little friggin' child.
It's a toddler.
Yeah. Like a 3-year-old toddler.
In a diaper, blindfolded.
Yeah.
Who's sobbing.
Scared
as shit. And so she knows he wants her to save the kid.
From the spikes.
Which then would subject the kid to immense amount of pain.
Which is why he made her change into skimpy clothes so she doesn't have anything to, like, build a barrier between her and the child.
This is so gross.
Yeah.
It's so disgusting. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Toddler is toddling.
Yep.
And
toddling around.
And she has to act fast because she realizes, like, spikes are coming up by the second.
Yeah, she, like, feels the floor starts to vibrate, and she's like, I have to go now.
So she, like, snatches the kid up.
She does.
Who then immediately starts sobbing in agony, screaming.
Yeah.
And she, like, gets a grip on the diaper and is, like, holding the kid by the diaper. Mm-hmm. And her arm is fucked up and in pain.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't keep this up for very long. And, like, tries to find a space that she can be with the kid, mm-hmm. where they don't necessarily have to touch, but, like, they're away from the spikes.
Yeah. It's all disgusting.
And when she's touching kid, like, feels the kid going limp and stuff. But finally, when she gets that new grip, like, he screams in his back and upset and scared of her.
Naturally.
And she doesn't want to take the blindfold off so he can't see the spikes and can't see her.
Can't see her, yeah.
And, I mean, I think eventually, like, after this, it doesn't last long. Mm-hmm. But I think she gets him settled and then the spikes stop. Like, the room goes quiet.
Well, and the kid, like, eventually gets out of her arms and falls and touches her leg.
Yeah.
God, all of it is just
so messed up.
Ugh.
It's such a twisted fucking thing to put someone into. Both the kid and her. Like, it's
a
sick.
fucking child.
It's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, Warner has no regard for human life.
Yeah.
Regardless of age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's disgusting. And the kid is fine, I think, ends up surviving. But Warner over the intercom is like, oh, yeah, like, it's good to see what you can do. Like, so, whatever. He's, like, praising her for this. And she starts feeling just absolute rage.
Yeah.
And fucking...
punches through the fucking concrete wall.
Through a concrete wall. And shattering the double pane glass.
And pins him to the fucking wall.
And he's like, ooh,
I didn't know you could punch through concrete.
And she's like what the
I did what?
Fuck? Yeah. Okay, but what the fuck, Sarah?
Yeah, and that's where we fucking end.
I know! And I was like, okay, we have this touch thing going on, but what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, is it something that she gained from having essentially sucked the life out of the kid?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Or is that something that she can do on a whim?
Or is it like Hulk smash?
Yeah.
Like, she got so enraged that she had this superhuman strength. Or,
well, listen, she had said earlier when she was having that argument with Warren that she thought she could punch through his chest and, like, you know, fuck his heart up or whatever.
Yeah.
Because she was so mad. So I wonder if it is something to do with the rage.
Yeah. Like, but, like, why is that another ability?
I don't know.
And her just punching through a goddamn wall. I was like, excuse me?
I know.
Excuse me.
And then to have that be the moment that we stopped, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
Really?
I know. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This book is nuts.
It's pretty good.
It's getting pretty good.
I know.
I have been very much enjoying it.
Me too.
And I do feel like the writing, the longer we got into it, was less like strike-throughs, less repetitive. Like she's sort of getting more solid in her person.
Yeah, you can really see it, like, I don't know, you still see the, like, repetitiveness especially come out when she's, like, panicking about something or when she's really, really mad.
Yeah.
But most of the time she's, like, gotten her emotions kind of under control.
Yeah. And, like, has this light at the end of the tunnel with Adam.
Yeah.
And, yeah, has these plans. And Warner, God, what a piece of shit.
I really, really, really despise him.
I can't even. That torch room situation.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. Impressions so far, we like it.
Yes.
Okay. What are your predictions, Sarah?
I have no freaking idea.
I
do feel like, for some reason, I just have a feeling there's going to end up being maybe more people like her. And I wonder if Adam is one of them. Because he can touch her.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he has some weird power that he hasn't discovered yet.
Maybe. Yeah. The whole him touching her thing is bizarre.
Yeah.
If nobody else can. Like, what's
Why
that about?
him?
He might be special.
Maybe it's the love.
But
that would be really sad if that's the case because her parents couldn't touch her.
No. I mean, yeah. Her backstory is terrible.
Yeah.
She talked about how, you know, they essentially blamed everything on her. Like, you've ruined our lives.
Yeah,
just
as
by
if it's
existing.
her fault.
You created her.
Yeah.
Whatever
you did
she
this.
is, you made it.
It's because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, I think I didn't really think about other people with powers, but I bet that's a thing. Especially
I feel like it's gotta be.
A world that's degrading and, like, you know, animals Evolution. Are changing. She mentioned at one point, like, the animals aren't what they used to be. Like, so that's suggesting that they're, you know, probably deadly and weird and, you know, creepy. Evolved weird. And, so there's gotta be some of that. Yeah. Humans included. But I feel like, I don't know, Warner has such a grip on the situation.
Do you think that Adam and her are going to be able to escape?
Some way, somehow. It's going to take a lot.
Do you think it's going to happen in this book?
I don't know. Maybe at the very end.
Okay. I don't think it is. I think something's going to happen and they're going to end up stuck there.
Maybe.
And they're not going to escape until a later book.
Perhaps. I feel like if they do in this book, it's going to be at the end. And then the next book is, like, them not in there anymore. Okay. But I also don't imagine they're going to drop the Warner storyline very quickly. Because, I mean, yes, he'll be present, but I feel like more directly is what I mean. Like, he's going to be a mainstay. She's going to be with him for a while. Yeah. Like, she's going to have to torture people. Yeah. I know.
God.
I know. Or maybe Adam's going to get...
Don't say that.
That's why I didn't complete the sentence.
No.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Maybe she's going to fall in love with Warren. I'm just kidding.
She's going to lean into the side that feels good about touching people. No, she has too good of a conscience. Conscious. But man, it's getting good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Holy crap.
Like I think I hopefully will be able to enjoy it more this week.
When you don't have COVID fog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I still feel foggy and I feel better. So.
Yeah, hopefully it'll dissipate soon. But next week, y'all, we're finishing the book. It's 26 through 50.
Yeah.
We cut it right in half, so that's exciting. But what else are you reading, or have you read this week, Sarah?
Well, I finished Archer's Voice that I was reading last week.
Yeah.
And if you want to hear more thoughts about that, you can go check out our weekly
personal read
check-in on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I just started The Six by Annie Taylor.
Yes.
And I am reading with you The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty.
Yes, queen.
What about you? What are you reading?
I just finished Fable by Adrian Young.
Okay.
Abraham Young is almost what I said.
Fable. Abraham Lincoln.
Fable. Adrian Young.
Yep.
Again, go to our check-in if you want to hear about that.
Yeah.
And, of course, Kingdom of Copper. And I'm about to start Namesake.
Okay.
Because I want to dive right in.
Yeah.
I want to continue
the
like story. I have to. But I also have so many books I want to read.
I know. We were just talking about that before the podcast. Like, I want to read that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one.
I know. We have to read.
And guess what? That one?
Also that one. Soon, though, in the next, week or so, we need to start reading Remarkably Creatures. Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Oh, yep. Not just Remarkable Creatures.
They're remarkable. The Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. This is for our book club.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen soon. And I really kind of want to start the Orange Tree Priori. What is it? Orange Priori
of the Orange Tree.
Yeah. I don't know. It just keeps staring at me.
That's
you know what I
fair.
mean? But also it's a thickie.
It's real thick. You gotta finish. I think you have to read Namesake before you can start that.
Yes, for sure.
But maybe start that after Namesake.
Yeah, I definitely want to read Namesake first.
Yeah.
And I know that there's other books associated with those ones. I don't have them, though.
There's
two. Saint and the other one.
The Last Legacy.
Yeah. You
maybe
have that
I'll
one.
Let you borrow it if you want to read it.
Sure.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, well, then maybe I'll wait until you read it.
It's the one that I couldn't get into.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll just read Namesake and see how I'm feeling about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why. It just keeps looking at me.
That's fair.
But it's also a thick boy, and it will consume my time for a while.
Yeah,
so I don't know if that's what I want right now or not.
That's fair.
Anyway, what are you guys reading right now?
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Read the second half of Shatter.
Make sure you read the second half for next freaking week.
Frick.
And then, y'all.
Then.
After that, we're looking for recommendations for our next book. So go over to our TikTok.
Yes, please.
We'll be posting a poll, I guess.
Yeah.
This isn't going to go up for a while, so never mind. Edit that out.
Go to our TikTok for future polls and things that we put up to pick books for the podcast.
Yeah.
We ask you.
We do.
And you can find us on
Your
TikTok.
opinions freaking matter.
Yeah, it helps us.
Yeah.
1, get new book recommendations, and 2, give you what you want.
Yeah.
But you can find us on TikTok and YouTube at Books and Crannies Podcast. And please subscribe on any platform you're listening to us on. Give us a rating.
Yeah.
Subscribe on YouTube. Do the things.
Leave us some comments up if you're on YouTube.
Yeah, please do. We'd really very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Help us out, guys.
And come hang out with us on anywhere.
Yeah, please.
Leave comments.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We love talking to you guys.
We sure do. And we want buddy buds to read with.
Yeah, we
buddy
do.
Buds.
Buddy buds to read with and to get recommendations from and just freaking chat and hang out.
Yeah, come on, dudes. But your tummy said, "Rah."
It did. My tummy wants friends too.
It does. But yes, next week, second half of Shatter Me. And otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful freaking week.
And we'll see you next time.
And happy reading.
Happy freaking reading.
All right, well, toodles.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye.